You're listening to the Timey-Wimey Tea Time Podcast, a geekyantics.net production where lovely and amazing people talk and ponder anything and everything about Doctor Who, science fiction, fantasy, zombies, the end of the world, creativity, writing and, oh heck yes, anything else that geeks speak, question and think.
Hello, Stan. Did we lose you? I think we lost Stan. I think we lost him. Well, I'm gonna keep things moving along. He does have construction going on. So you know, we finally get the sound quality just right, and now he's got issues going on. Good thing I'm not a studio Faryna right now. Ooh, we'd both be MIA. But anyway, let's talk a little bit more about episode 4 of Series 8. Of Doctor Who. Silence. I want to get into the conversation about fear more with Stan when he comes back, if he comes back. Stan, you may want to unmute if you're unmuted. We want to get into like what the heart of fear really is, and maybe to make a distinction about nightmares and whatnot. But quick shout out again to Tiger Claw, who says maybe it's popular with the ladies. He's referring to the sonic screwdriver, but you know. Best gadget ever, arguably. Fixes everything. It might be better than duct tape, guys. But I'm gonna share some of my thoughts straight from the Geeky Antics comments area at geekyantics.net. Ooh, my ear just popped. I have like really bad sinus congestion today. I can hear myself completely on the studio monitors. Yay! Hey, I sound pretty good. How you doing, guys? Anyway. Here are my these are my thoughts on fear, and this is something just completely stream of consciousness. So it's as raw as it is probably gonna get in terms of a comment. Oh, there you go. Well, everything we say is pretty raw and heartfelt. You're right there, bro.
I'm good. Actually, it was great because they were doing some major drilling at that moment.
Look at that. Talk about timing. We're on the money. We're on the ball, bro. The wasp took him. That's what
the wasp got him.
That's what happened. Yeah, they were talking. You were talking junk about it. Oh, you're gonna trust us and let your guard down. Okay. BFT swears they're plotting.
They are.
You know, I think nature is to be revered, appreciated, respected, if not loved. Well, that's cool. I try not to kill things in nature unless they really need to be addressed, like a water moccasin or other poisonous type creature, like a black widow. We've got quite a few of those. Those I do not waste time. It's like, you're in your environment, but I don't want you coming inside. Sorry, you're too dangerous. By the way, here are my thoughts on fear. And again, this is straight from comments I left on actually our last recap, if I'm not mistaken, for TWTT. Timey-Wimey tea time, by the way. Okay, I think fear is a thing of beauty. Certainly, it is central to human nature, or at least to our psychology and motivations. I think about the portrayal of heroes as fearless and brazen, unafraid of the test that must be faced, and it makes me facepalm a bit. When victory comes too easily to the Doctor, for example, and he's not afraid, we learn nothing from him. Fear can spur us to reach new heights. Fear can motivate us to grow. For the ungrown, we may be unready for love. Fear of being alone and vulnerable, it can force us to connect with others and be in a relationship with them. A true relationship, mind you, not a superficial relationship, which sadly, that's what a lot of people find themselves in. Anyway, back to the comment. Being fearless, then, one needs nothing and one does not grow. So fearless is actually a bad thing. Yeah. When we fear, we can slow things down, or we stop to think things through. We reflect. We become more observant. We turn the learning on, and we listen. See the callback? Listen. Listen. Yeah. That is, if we do not allow that fear to shut us down. So stop. Maybe pull back a little bit. Slow things down. Smell the proverbial, the metaphorical roses, but don't shut down. Don't just stop completely. So listen. That's it. That's a little recurring theme today. What are we really listening to? What are we listening to really? Is it possible that the reason the doctor seems so unfamiliar is because he is actually not the doctor? I mentioned this already. But what does he fear? How does his fear influence his actions? How will it influence his actions? So Stan, what does fear mean to you? We lose him.
Silence. Tiger Claw says, a wise old Jedi master once said, fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. That's awesome.
But that's if you bask, I mean,
Yes.
Yoda's right.
The pain.
Yeah, exactly. Yoda was on the right path, but to be fearless, as beautiful as it sounds, on paper, in a story, in real life, no me gusta.
Exactly. So, fear. Darkness and fear is not only the doctor's problem, it's our problem too. As Martin Luther King Jr. Suggested, this age will be known by many names, and among them is fear. It's the age of the internet, yeah, but it's also an age of fear and darkness in the face of all this bad news, the economic troubles, terrifying violence, contagious diseases, wars and rumors of wars, and natural disasters. Everywhere, people are discouraged, depressed, hopeless, confused, angry, afraid, and broken. But the problem of fear, it's the greatest, or one of the greatest challenges to human hope and happiness. It's also an instrument of our uplifting. Fear can serve us, just like you said. It can keep us alive. Our fear of violent and savage persons, warlike nations, and tyrants, for example, are completely justified. Like Yomar said, fear can focus us on the things that matter most, or inspire us to invention, innovation, or virtue. So the task is to distinguish between those fears which serve us and those that hold us back, make us live smaller, and defeat us. For those fears make us all blind to beauty and goodness and truth. And that's a callback to the earlier episode.
I caught that.
Martin Luther King Jr. wrote, we must face our fears without flinching. We must honestly ask ourselves, why are we afraid? The confrontation will, to some measure, grant us power.
So you talked about owning it. So before,
Yes.
part of the whole process, the overall process of owning something, you have to identify it and then confront it.
Exactly.
And then it transforms you, hopefully in a positive way. I like that a lot. Now, another thing I want to say before I go on to, there's a quote that I think also piggybacks really well off of what you just shared from Martin Luther King. I look at the differences in, our generation, Stan, and these younger generations. And I see so many of these younger folks, doing crazy things like base jumping, bungee jumping in places where they shouldn't be bungee jumping, just kind of making...
And these are the same people that will stand there and watch someone do something horrible to another person.
Yes, exactly. I was gonna get to that. I was trying to find a nice way to say it without going to a really dark place. But yeah, they show courage when it doesn't really count.
There's no consequences.
Yeah, it's like to show off, cool. But when they could use that courage for something of value, they just get frozen, or they just pick a side that they think is the winning side, And that's a scary place to be with all the persecution there is in the world, and the things that are kind of culminating right now.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing is different is that when we were young, we were made it was very clear to us there were consequences, because corporal punishment. I don't agree that it should always be an answer, but there was always that fear, like, man, I'm gonna get my butt whooped if I don't follow my parents said. My parents are saying I should do, But eventually, a maturity came about. There's a few kids, maybe in extreme situations or with the wrong perspective, they see that the spankings and the timeouts and all that stuff as torment and mean-spirited. But I think most of us saw that it's a way of loving, and our parents are trying to show us the real world is a brutal place. I want you to be ready for that, and I want you to understand that there's consequences for everything you do, and we won't always be here to shelter you. That's such an important lesson. Now it's like we handhold, we try to put the youth in a bubble, and they just do whatever they want because they feel like, oh, I'm always gonna have a safety net. We don't have these scary stories, where kids, ignore their parents and wander off to the woods, and then a witch gets them and tries to cook them alive. We need some of that.
We actually had a scary situation in our neighborhood back in the 70s. 2 children were murdered in the woods next to my house.
Oh, gosh.
So when the parents told us, if you play in the woods at night, good luck to you, it was real. See?
And, that fear has a purpose, and goodness can be born of it. There's extremes, right? There's extremes when you have parents that constantly make their kids fear everything. And so,
right.
My mother was almost borderline excessive. Like she made it seem like if I touched certain animals, my hands will fall off, or if I didn't wash my hands often enough, or if I touched my face or I put my hands in my mouth, I didn't wash my hands, I'd die. She put the fear in everything. Like don't cross the street without looking both ways, and make sure you have an adult with you, and don't talk to strangers. I mean, she was crazy. But because of that, I learned to respect things and respect that I have no control in this life, that there's a greater power, and there's circumstances that I have nothing to do with. It's respect. I think that's a big thing. And fear helps foster that.
I think that's what happens to a lot of our soldiers growing up in this in a world where they think that everything's okay and everything's in control, and they go into these terrible places, and they actually get messed up far more now than they did 50 years ago.
See that, and it's like Frankenstein's creation. He touched the fire. Ouch, that hurt. Okay, I don't want to do that again. You need sometimes, and sometimes you want to give those lessons before it gets to that point. But anyway, I digress. So I have a similar quote to kind of go off what you said from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Eleanor Roosevelt said something similar to what he said, and it said the quote goes something like this: "You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face." We just talked about that. You are able to say to yourself, "I have lived through this horror. I can take the next thing that comes along." You must do the thing you think you cannot do. But see that?
Awesome.
But see, that's beautiful.
Dude, you're a feminist.
You're
beautiful.
Look at that. Look at that. I am. I did not even know it, but I am.
Yeah.
But let's talk about courage. Sam? What do you think? Is courage alone what you need? Is that the secret sauce?
Well, I think, going back to Martin Luther King Jr., he's one of my heroes, by the way.
Oh, yeah, how can he not be?
Yeah. Courage is not enough, he told us, because the complete answer has to include love. So love is, he explained, was important to overcome fear. You can't really completely overcome fear without love. And beyond love, he said that faith was necessary. Because, in his words, if you have God on your side, who can stand against you?
Well, and I will even widen the scope. I mean, you and I are both believers, and I don't want to take anything away from the Christian faith. But if you're still on the fence about it, just think about the importance of faith is this. When the physical fails you, when the visible reminders, the verbal cues are lacking, when you're surrounded in darkness or silence and emptiness settles in, right? What else do you have but faith to build hope? It's a healthy thing to have, and I feel genuinely bad for people that only exist in this very superficial world where they have no dreams, no hope, no faith. That's a scary place to be. I can't imagine living like that.
It would be hard. Dude, we've gone so deep, and we've gone so beautiful.
I know, man.
I'm really happy.
I am too.
You can hear it.
But we're gonna bring it back to the community because you guys always go deep with us, and we love that. It's part of the adventure that we're going on, and that's why we finally settled down and sit down and talk about it. Have tea or coffee or your drink of preference. Do want to remind everybody again that if you want to join the conversation, you have things you want to share that are in line with what we've been discussing, or you just have feedback, or you have your own ideas that you'd like us to share with our audience or go deep on. Maybe you want to be a guest. There's so many things, so many possibilities. We live in a world of abundance. I think everybody should have that abundance mentality. Even when you feel like there's things missing, believe there's more coming. Believe in the infinite possibilities of the world. And those opportunities will open up. It may not happen when you want it to, but they will. So we're here for you. And maybe we can help some of those things happen. Leave us a voicemail message, 1-206-415-4987. Again, 1-206-415-4987. And that number is also on geekyantics.net, so you can find that voicemail hotline, which is US-based, by the way, at the bottom of the page. And there's other ways to connect with us there, too. So we give you lots of options. So definitely don't be shy. We have the Twitter, at Geeky Antics, at Faryna, Faryna, and at Yogizilla. That's me, Yogizilla. Yes, it's the bear and Godzilla together. Yogi the bear and Godzilla. They have a child, and it's called Yogizilla. That's me. Somehow that works. So here's some more comments. Trevor asks, ¿Crees que es el fin del mundo? ¿Estás listo? Dios está llegando. I'm getting some heavy stuff here. And again, we respect all beliefs and, backgrounds and creeds. But it's about to get a little religious, a little spiritual here. So bear with us.
Well, this represents the opinion of one person.
Yeah.
Listener, and we respect that.
And I totally love that he went there. So I just want everybody to keep an open mind here.
For the translation.
Translation, yes. Do we believe? Well, he's asking us. Do you believe that it's the end of the world? Are you ready? God is coming. So
that might have been provoked by the episode 4 because they visit the end of life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
so it got him.
And we've kind of gone there. How sometimes if you look at the signs, it does feel like the end of times. I'm this is gonna probably seem like such a cop out, but I'm kind of the cup half full kind of guy. I'm aware of all the wrongs in the world, all the bad in the world, but I try not to wallow in it. I try to keep pushing forward, because I feel like if things are gonna get that bad, there's nothing I could do about it other than believe that it's gonna work out for the best. So why worry about it? The only thing I could do is love my neighbors, and bring good into the world, bring beauty into the world. Because if I just allow that ugliness to consume me, I'm gonna become part of it. I don't want to be part of the darkness. I want to be part of the light.
Right. Well, since I do, I'll admit that I do follow end times prophetic discussions. So to ease his worries, I can say that the end times prophecy scholars say that the final play begins in Israel if there's a 7-year peace treaty. So until that happens, you can relax. When that happens, it's DEFCON 4, and we're back to where Yomar says, just do what good you can, because you can't stop it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be completely candid. My better half, the love of my life, she's allowed all this stuff that's going on in the world to completely consume her, and it's put us at odds with each other, because she's allowing the darkness to take over. She feels like, well, there's no hope, so why should I even bother trying anymore? And she's investing less and less in human relationships, and that's what happens with the fear mongering. You say, right, well, if it's all gonna end, why even bother? That's terrible, and it kills me.
Because it doesn't really end.
And
there will be a new beginning.
And people know that. She knows that. But we still feel like, well, I'll just wait for the afterlife. So it's like, let me give up completely on the now. And I think it's a terrible way to look at it.
But we're here now. Okay, let me put it this way. If there is an afterlife, I believe there is. But let me say, if there is an afterlife, then the reason that we're here is to prepare for that.
And I absolutely agree with that.
And I'm not just saying prepare simply in terms of pleasing God, for example. But maybe there's, just as we have grown from small children to adults, maybe this life could be considered our childhood in terms of our souls. And so whatever comes after, well, we'll have to be grown up to deal with that. Because I don't think it's going to be, listening to some really boring harp music.
Yeah. And we could go deeper on that, because there's a ancient text that transforms how people view the afterlife and heaven and all this stuff.
Exactly.
And what perfect really means, and how eternity really seems. And when you look at things in a finite way, it's like, oh, we have such a short life. This sucks. How can I make the most out of it? And I think even if you don't believe in the afterlife, which again is a scary existence to live by,
that's something we don't know about.
Yeah, it's an unknown. But if you don't believe in that, like, if you get so obsessed with worrying about when you'll die, how can you possibly live? How can you enjoy today and live in the moment? You're letting so much pass you by. That's why I shared a very, it's hard for me to share that aspect of my life. I don't talk about it much. I feel for my honey bunny. But it's in a point where it's like I need to let things take their course, and I know this is all part of a big plan. I believe that.
Right. All right. Let's see. Mayra, I think I pronounced her name right. She quotes Clara.
I like Mayra. Mayra.
Okay. Mayra.
Hey, ooh, that's pretty good, bro. That's good.
Mayra quotes Clara. What if there was nothing? What if there was never anything? Nothing under the bed, nothing at the door. What if the big bad Time Lord doesn't want to admit He's just afraid of the dark. Ah.
Dun dun dun. So.
And she's browbeating him again. But that's all right.
Yeah.
She's not slapping him.
Yeah. She's kind of become like she's really taking on the teacher role. She's like the mother hen type.
Yes, she is.
And like sometimes like I'm weird. I might be a very twisted person, but I experienced that in my relationship, and it's like, ooh, yeah, punish me. That's right, discipline me, correct me, sexy. But then there's a certain point where it's like, okay, slow down. Talk to me, we're peers, talk to me on the same level. We can't keep that up. So, even a lot of our, female Whovians or female fans or community members that happen to be women are saying, stop it! We want a manly doctor. Stop this. This is madness. They have a problem with this.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So not just us men feeling uncomfortable with this. It's just, it's too much.
Exactly. All right, next one.
Allison. Yes. Oh, yes. More Spanish. Woohoo. There's been a lot of Spanish this week. So, Allison 98. 98. Yeah, so I add a little flair there for you, Stan. You like that?
I like that.
She says, no pude encontrar la información del podcast Timey-Wimey y horario de all games. She's griping. She's griping because Derek H. Is not good about this stuff. I love him to death. I'm not knocking you, bro. I know you're a really busy guy. He has a day job, and then he puts full-time work into the network. But yes, allgames.com. You're not having issues. It's not your fault. The schedule has not been updated, and there is no information. We tell you do not exist, except for now. If you're live right now, it's currently 1:43 p.m. Eastern time. We're still live right here on allgames.com. So that's where you can go to listen to us live in audio form, or you go to twitch.tv/Geeky and watch the video. Or just wait till YouTube. But that's if you want to join us live, it is happening. We're not lying. We exist. We're not hiding under a rock. But Derek does need to kind of, take a few minutes out to put us in the schedule and directory, and commit. We're committing. He's got to meet us halfway. Stan?
Yeah. I was going to say something in Japanese, but I'm not going to say it.
But I don't remember what it translates to. Kabe ni atama o kyoda?
Well, that was the point, was not to say it in English.
Oh! So yeah, some of these words look familiar. My Japanese is rusty. I'm like,
Kabe ne atama o kyoda.
Yeah, sounds very familiar.
You can search that on Google, man.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it right now, just in case I get in trouble.
Okay, Cloud Phillip quotes the doctor's speech to Rufus Pink. Let me tell you about scared. Your heart is beating so hard I can hear it through your hands. There's so much blood and oxygen pumping through your brain. It's like rocket fuel. Right now you could run faster and you can fight harder. You can jump higher than ever in your life. And you're so alert, it's like you can slow down time. What's wrong with scared? Scared is a superpower. Your superpower. There is danger in this room, and guess what? It's you. Do you feel it? Do you think he feels it? Do you think he's scared? Nah, loser. That was awesome. That was the best moment for me for the last 4 episodes.
I think I would agree too. But the best part is when the inflection with he says loser. He's like, loser!
Right.
Very good delivery here of those lines. Yeah, it moved me, and I completely Guys, I really felt that whole moment. It's like, oh yes, it's true. The adrenaline's pumping, your heart's palpitating, and all this. Oh yes, I love it. Great imagery. I can relate to it completely, and fear as a superpower. That's beautiful. I love that so much. Because
Awesome.
I really have a problem with people that always portray heroes as fearless. It's like, no, they're fearful. That's what makes them great heroes, because they conquer that fear. If they're fearless, they wouldn't know when there's danger, and they'd run into bullets or dive into fires and burn to death.
Right.
Wow, we're
Play
actually,
that funky voicemail, man.
yeah, dude, and I think we're pretty ahead of time right now. So cool.
Awesome.
So yes, voicemail coming right now.
So, Puddins, what do you really think of Series 8, Episode 4 of Doctor Who? Yup, it's Harley again. Your favorite sexy gotham girl with a deep sense of humor. Does fear make you stronger, faster, smarter? Or does fear make you cruel or, cowardly? Go
Someday.
deep with this, Kay.
I don't hear anything.
Kisses!
My brothers, it's Isaac from Jamaica. I didn't hear you play the message that I left you last week. That bugged me out a little. But I know you get a lot of messages. Or maybe your voicemail system lost my message. Check that out. So I'm still thinking about how the 12th Doctor is an anti-hero. And I don't like it. Like Stan said, the Doctor has a lot to prove. To Clara, to us. I'd like if you go deep with that. As Joseph Campbell once explained, the hero's victory must be decisive, and that the reward must be big enough to bless all of humanity. The treasure must be worthy of our celebration.
So some people are not hearing it.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
You think that's an output problem?
Mm,
I don't. So
I don't
that's
know.
what they said in all games. They didn't hear anything.
Doesn't make sense because people heard it in the Twitch chat. Huh. I gotta think of a quick fix.
Oh man, the people in all games won't be able to hear Soft Kitty.
No. I think I got a solution. You won't be able to hear it though, because I can't fix this that quickly.
Right.
Unless you listen to the stream. So we'll just do it. We'll do it that way. So hold on, I'm doing a little quick rig here so you guys can hear our voicemail messages. Give me a second. Boom, boom, boom. All right, here we go.
My brothers, it's Isaac from Jamaica. I didn't hear you play the message that I left you last week. That bugged me out a little. But I know you get a lot of messages. Or maybe your voicemail system lost my message. Check that out. So I'm still thinking about how the 12th Doctor is an anti-hero. And I don't like it. Like Stan said, the Doctor has a lot to prove. To Clara, to us. I'd like if you go deep with that. As Joseph Campbell once explained, the hero's victory must be decisive, and that the reward must be big enough to bless all of humanity. The treasure must be worthy of our celebration. The reward can be wisdom, but the wisdom must be beautiful and true, not lies, not half-truths or common platitudes. Like Stan says, note to Moffat, peace be with you, my brother.
All right, so that was Isaac from Jamaica, who left us a wonderful Soft Kitty rendition, and reminiscent of Michael Jackson. You know, we liked it a lot. So he's talking about, he's going really deep. We probably won't have enough time to really give this the attention it needs. But we did play your previous voicemail. It did not get lost in the mix, Isaac. So just a heads up. We got it. We played it in episode 4. That's technically 4.5 if you go on YouTube. But if you go to any of our podcast platforms, iTunes, Stitcher, Zune, etc., you'll hear in episode 4. Second half of it, we played the voicemail message, and we enjoyed it quite a bit. We had a lot of good.
That was the Soft Kitty.
Yeah, but so yeah, I gotta work on some stuff for the all game stream. They're hearing it kind of low for some reason. All right, but yes, he was talking about how, you know, it's really deep stuff. I played this for you before, Stan. He was talking about how a hero should not just have common platitudes. It needs to be a real benefit to the world. And the Doctor's not quite there right now. But yeah, Isaac's very nice. I like him. He's like, you know, my brothers, you know, and he's like, then he goes, peace to you, my brothers. He's like, cool dude. Maybe if he ever visits, come stateside, we'll have a beer with him or some wine. With Kool-Aid, as Stan likes it. Okay, I lost Stan again. So thank you for that, Isaac. And we got a couple more here. Can't do too much to increase the volume right now, so hopefully you guys hear it all right. Hopefully you hear it on the Twitch is okay though. It's an all game stream for some reason. It's not coming that loud. But here we go.
Hello, my darling boys. It's me again, Lauren, from Brighton. I really liked what Yomar said on Saturday. There was a man who lived well beyond any human years, yet he loved, feared, and pondered, much like any human would. He saw the world through a child's eyes. To him, there was beauty at every turn. He travelled time and space, seeking out and protecting this beauty. Sorry you guys had technical problems, but don't stress out about that. You'll figure it out. Keep going deep.
I love Lauren. Lauren from Brighton. What a beautiful voice and great accent. I love the way she speaks too. Be still, my heart. What? I didn't say anything. But you know, she was talking about the little poem that I had about the Doctor seeing the world through a child's eyes, and but the best part though is that she ends it with saying, you know, I'm sorry that you boys are having you know, technical issues, but don't let it drive you crazy. We're trying not to. We're having technical problems now. It'll get better. It's all right. I mean, we're leaps and bounds ahead of where we were last week. That was crazy. At least now we're audible. All right, one more voicemail, and this one is from the gal we used to call Pudding, because she says Pudding a lot, and it's rather cute that it's endearing. But we found out she's actually Harley Quinn. Here we go.
Ooh.
I know, plot twist.
So, Puddins, what do you really think of Series 8, Episode 4 of Doctor Who? Yup, it's Harley again. You know, your favorite sexy gossip girl with a deep sense of humor. Does fear make you stronger, faster, smarter? Or does fear make you cruel or, cowardly? Go deep with this, Kay. Kisses!
So she loves the topic of fear. She's asking, you know, does fear make us, you know, cool, courageous, or does it make us cowardly and, you know, derpy? So she must have read it. Is this someone you know? Do you know Harley Quinn? You lucky bastard. Sam won't even entertain that thought. I think we're all just on the same wavelength. So that's pretty cool. You guys get the feels. Yeah, but that is the voicemail for now. Now we're good. We're pretty good on time. We got a good 15 minutes or so. You know, unless I want to edit a little bit. That's fine. I'll edit because there's a lot of inside baseball and technical hiccups here and there. So we still got time, guys, to go deeper. Stan, tell us real quick.
Let's do it.
Tell us real quick about the Soft Kitty Song Contest. Give it the skinny on it, so we can play the voicemail and maybe do some extras today.
All right. So, as I mentioned in previous episodes, Yomar is having a little trouble getting the sleepy time. So we're asking you to help him out by singing Sheldon Cooper's favorite lullaby, Soft Kitty. Call in and sing your best Soft Kitty in Geeky Antics voicemail. 3 Soft Kitty singers will get an epic Hearthstone plushy pillow. You, the audience, will choose the winners on or before October 25th. When you call in to sing, leave us your name, email address, Twitter URL, or Geeky Antics username. Don't worry, we won't go public with it unless you give us permission. So, sing your Soft Kitty at 1-206-415-4987. That's 1-206-415-4987. If you don't know the lullaby, go to YouTube and search Soft Kitty Song Big Bang Theory. Let's hear the Soft Kitty submissions.
You ready?
I'm ready.
You sure? All right,
Ready.
I'm getting them ready. I have to do a more.
I'm ready.
Yeah, here we go. You listening on the stream, Stan? So you can get
I'm
them
listening.
All right.
Soft kitty, warm kitty, little kitty, warm kitty, little kitty, sleepy kitty, little kitty, sleepy kitty, happy kitty, sleepy kitty, purr, purr, purr.
Wow.
Hello, Geek Antics voicemail. This is Lady Gaga, and I want you to know that I love everything about you guys, and I want to sing you a little lullaby. Soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur, happy kitty, sleepy kitty, purr, purr, purr. Pause up.
That sounds like Lady Gaga.
Well,
That's a very convincing impression. Imagine if Lady Gaga actually called us. Whoa.
Where's the
Imagine.
call from? Is it from New York City?
I cannot disclose that information. Not on the air.
You can't say if it's from New York City?
It may be.
So, I think Gaga's in New York City. But I'm not sure.
Dude. We've got that reach, yo. OP.
We are OP officially. We are big monsters now.
Big time. So Derek's saying he's hearing. Okay, we'll figure it out after it. They say they're hearing a little bit of echo. It might
I
be
heard
the
it
way.
too.
Oh, you heard it too?
When I was giving the Soft Kitty rundown.
Interesting. Why'd you guys tell us now? Like you're waiting till the end of the show. That's what the pre-show's for. But that's okay. I guess it's not game breaking. We'll tweak it later. But so that's Soft Kitty. Thank you for the submissions. It's good stuff. Everybody's got a different style. That's what I like about it.
Can you play a Louie for us?
No, that's this week. We gotta get 10 minutes.
Can we hear him one more time?
No, we got stuff to talk about.
Man, Derek wants to hear Louis Armstrong sing Soft Kitty.
No, when
He does. I'm serious.
He can listen to the previous
Derek
episode.
loves Louis Armstrong.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, you being bad. Are you trolling, bro? You trolling?
I love Louis Armstrong.
Oh, I do too.
Every chapter in my novel, the first book of my novel, starts with Louis Armstrong's "It's a Wonderful World."
Yeah, it's a good song. It's very good. So I'm just looking through some of the stuff we were thinking about getting into, and this week we have quite a bit of plugs. We'll see how much we can make a dent on here. 'Cause we have a few curiosities about episode 4, right? Is that fair to say?
Sure.
And I think we addressed a few of these, but you have some you have some choice words to share with regards to the Pinks, right, Stan?
I do.
Let's have it. Let's see what you have to say about that.
Okay, so Doctor Who, which is a very respectable Doctor Who podcast and website, they rave about Samuel Anderson's performance as Danny and Orson Pink. But I have no idea what they're talking about. Because my first question was, Danny and Orson who? Were those characters in the episode? Or were they just furniture?
Oh, you're really trolling hard today, bro.
And that's nothing against Samuel Anderson. That's everything against Muppet.
Yeah. I mean, he did a really good job of kind of having as Danny Pink. He had that childlike innocence, and it really made you love him. But then it's like, but why are you really here? Like seriously.
Exactly, because they're kind of push-off characters, and is that really? I don't know. Maybe the problem is that Mr. Moffat, see, I'm saying his name right, is stuffing too much into an episode, and maybe what we need is 2 episodes or 3 episodes to cover everything he wants to say. Maybe he feels rushed, and he's jam-packing the episodes. And that's why the Pinks just, how can you pay attention to them when you're focused on the creepiness and the question of, what's in the corner of the mirror? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I feel like possibly Danny was shoehorned in to take the heat off the Doctor so that Clara wouldn't resent him for not being a strapping young male. And, the Doctor's kind of like non-flirty and, boring in that aspect. But then there's still a bit of sexual tension there. It's not the kissy, flirty stuff, but, the Doctor clearly takes notice of Clara. He even mentioned, he makes mention of the fact that her makeup is incomplete. So there's got to be some level of attraction there.
Right.
I feel like they're trying to push so hard for there not to be attraction between the Doctor and the companion that it's putting us in a very forced position. Like, let's just introduce characters to make that easier on them. Derek H is trolling you back, by the way, bro. He says it puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again.
Okay, hold on. It puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again. How's that?
Look at that. We're doing some fan requests here. It's like everything's going crazy in the final minutes. People are hearing echoes now, where they didn't before. Dun dun dun. Oh, now you want to talk? Yeah, you want to talk a little bit about the Nerdist, my favorite network ever.
Now, you want me to troll the Nerdist, don't you?
No. Yeah.
So
let's do it before, and we'll end at that.
Okay.
Yeah, around that.
So the Nerdist hails the Silence episode as one of Muppet's best. Listen, says the Nerdist, is a truly wonderful episode that only makes sense once the whole thing is completed.
Can I stop you there? This
Yes.
reminds me of the same argument people are making for Destiny. Oh, it's good once you reach level 20. Like, this argument does not hold up for other things. Can you imagine going to a movie theater and, like, spending 2.5 hours to, like, a Peter Jackson style epic, and then they tell you, everybody tells you, oh, just stay for, I know the first 2.5 hours are terrible, but the final 30 minutes are really good. That
Exactly.
argument does not hold, much weight, but people are still
And what
trying
we're
to be, I don't know.
Right, and what we're seeing in every one of these last 4 episodes is a great, fantastic start and a great and fantastic finish. And everything in between is,
Yeah. See, and that's problematic. That hasn't been an issue with Doctor Who before.
exactly.
I like what you actually wrote here, the real trolling, talking about equations and stuff. That's great.
Okay. So, what I was saying, the lack of logic between what the doctor begins as his question and where it ends with fear. So, the end never justifies the means. And I was saying, nor does A equals Z when presented with the following conditions: A plus B equals C, and C minus A equals X, and Z divided by 2A plus XTC. In other words, absolute and utter nonsense where repetitive ideas suggest a logic where there is none. So, hey man, if the Nerdist is about nerds, and they're getting something really wrong, because nerds don't make those kinds of mistakes.
I'm trying really hard to bite my tongue here.
Go ahead, man, say it.
I'm just going to say that,
They sold out.
the Nerdist is one of the most pretentious networks out there. Not because we're on All Games or Geeky Antics, but no, Geeky and Sundry, they're grounded, and they're not trying to be like, say all these pretentious things and make it, speak out of their bums, so to speak.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being pretentious if you're saying amazing things. Then the problem is that the Nerdist is not saying amazing things right now.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, don't try to set the bar too high. Just sometimes it's all right to just make a simple comment. Anyway, I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna go there, but Silence was no blink. But did it really fail? I watched it around 3 times. Each time I felt that it really gripped me, and it compelled me to keep watching. So it succeeded in that. It did still feel like it had a lot of filler and it's like things that were tacked on. And I'm like, what does this really add to the storytelling? And I had to wrestle with that a bit. But I was listening. And that's what the episode told me to do, listen.
And we saved the day.
I got Derek.
Timey podcast.
Did you see I got Derek H started like Geek and Sundry is pretentious? Not as bad as we're all pretentious to an extent when we start using terms like labels like nerd and geek. Obviously All Games isn't about every game in the world, but it says All Games. That's a bit of a misnomer. But there's a certain degree of authenticity. And I will hold this. I've gotten interaction from Will Wheaton and Felicia Day. They've supported some of my projects. They at least try to make an effort to make it about everyone else. The Nerdist is more like, hi, this is the Chris Hardwick Network. That's my problem. For those that haven't heard that rant before, there you go. That's why it's a bit of a hot button topic for me. And Stan's probably shaking his head right now. He's like, oh, he went there again. He just couldn't avoid it. We're really big on community, if you couldn't tell. So when people when there's a lot of self-absorbed stuff going on there, no me gusta. But we did want to. Do we have time? Not really. I think we should start wrapping up. So next week we'll probably be carrying over some other stuff. We're gonna get into some episode 5 speculation. Will the Doctor continue to be an accidental hero, or in other words, an anti-hero?
I say yes.
You say yes? Okay. You know, what is this teller
Sadly.
thing? Sadly, yes. Yeah. That's a whole other discussion.
Yes, it is.
What is this teller thing, and what is this teller telling us about banking in general? You know, I don't know. I don't know if
It's
that's
the
really.
monster they're showing us in the spoiler pics.
Yeah. Will Clara save the day again? I think that's gonna be an emphatic yes. Until the doctor gets out of his diapers.
Exactly.
I know people have been asking me to read some of my flash fiction, so hopefully I'll put some more in the bank. See there? You said something about teller, bank, ha ha ha. That's funny.
I like it.
And so I get some more in the bank, and then I'll read some in a future episode. That's you know, we don't have time to go really deep on this episode 5, so we'll enjoy it tonight, and next week we'll report back with our feelings on that. And Derek wants to make it clear that all games is about every game in the world. That's impossible. You can't cover every game in the world.
Let me say it in my creepy voice. All games is about every game in the world.
That's the creepy voice?
It's not? It's not creepy enough?
No, that's like your normal voice, bro. Oh. Are you trying to say you're a creeper?
Maybe.
Oh, okay. But anyway, we got some plugs and outros. So we should probably get to those. So right off the bat, much love to everybody in all games. Even though you guys kind of slacked off, you let us down a little bit tonight, tuning in for like the last 20, 30 minutes. But you know, we still love you anyway. And then all the folks on Twitch, twitch.tv/Geeky Antics. We apologize for the technical issues. Apparently the Twitch stream is fine, but the actual all game stream is a little low or something. So we'll get that tweaked. We'll probably do some more tests later, whenever the all games server is pretty free to do so. Oh, they're saying it's not a creepy voice. You have a robot voice. The ladies love it
All
though.
right. I'll work on it.
You're working. Oh, yeah, you just wrote in there. I'm slow to the pull. I'm like slow on the draw tonight. Today. Yeah, in the afternoon. I need more coffee. I'm sorry, Stan. But you guys can enjoy Timey-Wimey Tea Time anywhere where fantastic, beautiful podcasts can be found, including, but not limited to, Stitcher, iTunes, Zoom/Windows Phone Marketplace, and TuneIn Radio. Thanks to Kersterberus and Trenzalore Tomb, as well as other people that have been sharing our message forward. We appreciate that from our, all the love from our fellow podcasters, YouTubers, Twitch streamers, Whovians, and Twitter maniacs. Again, what's that?
No, I was just saying yes.
Yes.
I was affirming the love.
Affirm the love. Feel it. Share it. Be it. Again, allgames.com. Much love to you guys for hosting us today, and we hope that the schedule actually gets updated, because we're sending fans over there, and it's not cool when we're plugging the site and they're like, I don't see any mention of Timey-Wimey Tea Time on the site. What is this?
They're actually saying it in the comments on YouTube.
Yeah, they're actually saying that. Like, I went there and I don't see anything about Timey-Wimey Tea Time. This is garbage. I'm out of here. You guys could have extra people signed up on the all games. That's a missed opportunity. So put us in the schedule. We're here to stay. We're not going anywhere. Now we might have some bugs and some issues every now and then, but that can't be helped. Technology is OP. But yeah, so everybody that's listening, that should be updated soon. Give Derek a break. He's a little spread thin. Give him a hug. He might need a hug. If you're a girl, give him a hug. He might not be comfortable with a guy hugging him. I'm a huggy kind of guy. Stan can tell you. But
yes, you are.
I don't think Derek would be open to my hug, my man hug. That might scare him. But if you want it, bro, I'll give it to you, man. It's all love here. But yeah, we're at allgames.com live. That's where you listen to us when we're streaming live on noon, Saturdays. Other than that, you catch our replays on YouTube, on Twitch, and the aforementioned places. And that's noon Eastern, 5 p.m. in London, 7 p.m. in Bucharest, and 9 a.m. on the West Coast in Pacific time. And everyone else in between, do a little bit of math. You'll figure it out. I believe in you. Oh, I see.
I'm rude.
They give me
I
some
don't know
feedback
why.
on a technical issue.
Yeah.
No, speakers are not turned up. There's some kind of weird anomaly going on. No, I will never place voicemail through a speaker into the mic. That's ghetto. The mixing setup is not properly rigged, which is weird because all the meters, all the little lines are going up and down. It should be working fine. We'll figure it out afterwards. Other guy, Doomplague, is trying to figure out which one of us is Yomar and which one of us is Stan. Maybe we're both people? Maybe it's one person doing two voices. The plot thickens. GeekyAntics.net. That's our website, our main hub, where you can go spread the love. Leave us some comments. You know, we got a lot of storytellers there, Twitch streamers, podcast hosts. A lot of love, cross-promotion going on, a lot of collaboration. Good things cooking there. Stan, you have any plugs? Besides GeekyAntics.net?
Yes. Okay. We got at Lucy the Whovian on Twitter. She writes things in Gallifreyan with the help of a program created by Lauren Sherman. And if you go to her Tumblr page, I don't have the address, but I will have all the links on the recap at geekyantics.net. At Will Brooks 1989, that's on Twitter, is currently writing the hashtag 50-year diary for at Doctor Who Online, and he reviews all of the episodes of Doctor Who. Then there is at Alyssa_Stern on Twitter, and Whovian should know who Alyssa is because she makes an animated YouTube series about a puppet Doctor Who's adventures in time and space.
Nice.
Yep.
All right. Well, we have a lot more stuff we wanted to share, but I think we're really that's about it right now, folks. Yeah, and I'm hungry. How about you, Stan? Usually we work up an appetite, but this time,
I had Arby's before we started.
what a tease! That's terrible, man. Just rub it in my face.
Hey, I got one for you too.
You got
Now that's rude.
You got one for me, but I can't have it. That'd be so messed up. A piece of me just died. I got you one too. Come get it. Dude, you're freaking 14 hours away. Thanks. Well, more like 12 hours, depending on how traffic is.
What would be more rude is if I put it in the mail.
Oh, and by the time it gets to me, because you don't package it properly,
yeah.
it's like completely rotten, not edible.
Yeah.
I still try to eat it. Wait, that little piece is salvageable. Oh. Hey, we got some Arby's love in here. But anyway, maybe we will end up doing the post show. Let's wrap this up, and then depending on how our energy levels are afterwards, we'll keep this going. But to make editing easier, I'm about to play our outro stuffs. Ooh, which is gonna be difficult because now this why doesn't it work properly? I can't queue up the soundboard like I normally do.
Hey, okay, so give me it. So while you're working on that, I'll do the shout outs to the crowdfunding projects.
Okay.
How's that?
Well, I'll have it ready quickly, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so in the spirit of us helping people to dream bigger, we're going to do some shout outs for some of the interesting crowdfunding projects that pique our interest. And the first one is Redwood Trails Beef Jerky, and that's on Kickstarter. So Carl Turner is making delicious, tender, artesian beef jerky, hand-cut, marinated in wine and other wonderful flavors, and slow-smoked with hickory. So I'll have those links on geekyantics.net later. Ooh. Then there's the Core Wireless
jerky.
Yeah, I know, me too. I love it. And this guy, supposedly he does, some amazing flavors. He's not using chemicals. He's actually like making this in his kitchen.
Ooh. I'm sold.
Yeah.
I'm sold.
There you go. So the next one is the Core wireless speaker system on Indiegogo. And that's Mass Fidelity who's making the Core, and it can play any music on your smartphone, tablet, laptop, or PC. And I'm definitely looking for a cool system that does it all. And one of the things that I've been looking for is, one of these little wireless speakers that can actually also do speakerphone. And it works for both Android and iPhone, so that's awesome.
But can it play voicemail on your stream?
We might have to request that.
Okay, let them know. That would be a good backup for us when we have technical hiccups.
There you go. And the last one is Kaleidoscope Cosmetics on Kickstarter. See, we have goodies for the women out there. Heather Lynn Anderson wants to make homemade, non-allergenic, mineral-based eyeshadows, and she's got some really good prices for her eyeshadow. And I know this because I frequently have to buy things like this for birthdays and Christmases.
Are you suggesting that we're gonna cosplay and cross-dress or something and put on some eyeshadow on stream? It's
I did not suggest that.
Show the project.
It may happen, but I didn't suggest it.
Well, October's coming up. Just saying. That's when you can get away with the things that are a little bit questionable like that.
Oh yeah.
It's wait, I could dress up like a slut and no one will say anything. Yay! I gotta love Halloween. All right, well, it's time. One of my favorite times. I mean, I hate saying goodbye to you guys, but we get to play the music and the awesome outro bumper.
Oh yeah.
It's very fitting, considering recent world events, is it not?
Yes, it is. Scotland has made its big decision.
Indeed. So here we go. Thanks for tuning in, guys. And gals. That's unisex, of course, though. Guys. Yeah, anyway. Say bye, Stan.
Goodbye, gals.
You're supposed to do more robotic. Goodbye, guys. Thank you for tuning in today.
Goodbye. Thank you for tuning in to Timey-Wimey podcast.
I love it. All right, here we go.
Timey-Wimey tea time.
Too soon. Here's the bumper. My bad.
We thank you. Yomar and Stan thank you. We thank you for every crumb, biscuit and cake you bring to the table. Because Doctor Who belongs to all of us. What you bring to the Timey-Wimey tea time in your live chat participation, comments, likes, shares, tweets and voicemail, all of it means the world to us. Love, true love never fails. Do you like it? If you like what we're doing, well, tell us for God's sake. Shout it from the rooftops at geekyantics.net or call it in 206 415 4987. That's 206 415 4987. That's it. Bless you. So long. And thanks for all the fish. Dawn, it won't be that long, just a wee while, because the Timey-Wimey tea time will be back. We'll return next Saturday with fresh insights, questions and epiphanies about Doctor Who. And heck yes, everything geek. Maybe same bat time, absolutely the same bat channel, every Saturday.
Timey-Wimey tea time.
Me gusta.